Up next on County Cable Montgomery, Parks Wreck and Roll. In this episode, we'll dig up some dirt at Family Archaeology Day, and then soak up some sun at the new solar panel field at South Germantown Recreational Park. Stay tuned. Each May, the Montgomery County Department of Parks hosts Family Archaeology Day. Organized by the Archaeology Division at Montgomery Parks, it allows visitors to go on a dig and examine artifacts, as well as meet historical reenactors, take tours, play games, and do crafts. Let's unearth the fun.
This is a chance for the archaeology program in Montgomery Parks to introduce the public to our archaeology in Montgomery County. We let people come in where they can try their hand at excavation. We have simulated sites where people learn the methods and techniques that archaeologists use, in all ages too, because we even have little buckets for the little guys to dig in, but also a senior simulated site where they're going to learn how to take soil colors and textures and learn how to measure and look for artifacts and record the artifacts.
It's a bone, I'm not sure what kind.
A bone?
Yeah.
Looks like it might be a deer bone.
Yeah.
And we got a plastic soldier and a plate.
I don't know what these are. Do we put them in there?
If you're not sure, then put it in the bag.
Yeah, in doubt, bag it.
I think the kids are learning a bit about history, about how material culture from years ago influenced how they lived, how they ate, how they grew their crops perhaps. But I guess we'll understand more about categorizing and labeling and maybe even dating some artifacts over there.
We also have many historical characters that we've invited in to show the time period of where we're having this Family Archaeology Day. Here at Needwood Mansion, it was built in 1854, so we're trying to represent the 19th century here.
The lovely Mrs. Mary Victorine Key Scott Robertson.
I'm Mrs. Elizabeth Magruder. I'm visiting from my farm over in Oakley.
It's bringing history to life, becoming somebody who was real at one time and telling people about what life was like back then. And I always get the first question they ask you is, "Are you hot?" And you just smile and say, "No, it's all natural fibers." But you get to explain what it was like, how people dressed, why they did what they did, explain the etiquette.
But it's hard for me to get through doors and go up and down stairs in the hoops. And so that's why they have such wide, gracious doorways in her house here, because you need a lot of room.
I'm a volunteer in the parks. I work archaeology, and today I'm doing a living history piece for the Civil War. I'm portraying a Civil War camp life as it would appear in the field. You know, more than 90% of the soldiers' life is in camp, filling up time, having games made out of bullet pieces, playing cards. They try to keep discipline going by some drill every day. You have to do drill, pull guard duty. A Southern officer's saber, the reason we know it's Southern is because it has the CS, Confederate States, on the hilt up here. This is a cute little thing. It was called the housewife. Soldiers would use it. This was very useful. A thread, needles, etc. A comb.
Talking here about how the Civil War hospital relates to Archaeology Day. And the reason for that, one of the reasons for that, is by the bullets that were used in the Civil War. The archaeologists will go on to the battlefields, like at Antietam or Gettysburg, and they'll survey the battlefield, and they'll find bullets in the ground, and they can tell by the concentration of bullets, the kind of bullets, whether they're deformed or not. They get an idea of what actually occurred on the battlefield.
We also represent the prehistory in Montgomery County, the deep history when it was just Native Americans living here. One side of our event we have flint knapping, which is where a gentleman is helping people learn how Indians crafted stone tools. And the favorite is the atlatl, where you get to use an atlatl, which is a spear thrower, and try to hit a deer and see how good your hunting skills are.
We are here today just to do something different and check out some, parts of the county we haven't seen. And yeah, have fun things for the kids to do.
We have a potter who's showing people how to make pottery the way the Indians did.
We are providing parents and children with an opportunity to experience what clay will allow.
Layering coils on top of each other.
And whatever they feel like doing. There's a variety of tools to be used. And then they start experimenting and away they go. Cold water.
Okay. The volunteers are a huge part of our program.
I guess clay would normally come from the ground.
You bet.
Is there
and I have gathered clay from all over Montgomery County.
We would not be able to run our program without the volunteers. They help in every aspect of our work, from excavating sites, doing all the lab work that entails, all the public events that we do.
Doctor would start out.
We really are indebted to our volunteers.
Archaeology Lab is located in the basement of the Needwood Mansion. We have a huge library of archaeological papers, books. We have a volunteer who is a librarian.
Montgomery Parks manages 117 historic structures and 43 historic sites.
We're in the park planning and stewardship section. So that means within parkland that we're charged with stewarding our archaeological resources, which includes management, protection, identification, and interpretation.
There are several ongoing projects, including the one at the Josiah Henson Park, located in Bethesda.
The work that is going on there under the direction of Cassandra Michaud is spectacular. Being able to read Henson's autobiography and be able to find the things that he was writing about, find them in the landscape, and they're still uncovering, they're still working there.
And it's so exciting.
To learn more about the archaeology program at Montgomery Parks, go to montgomeryparks.org/archaeology. Montgomery Parks is joining the solar revolution, and we join the celebration to flip the ceremonial switch on 2 solar panel arrays recently installed in the parks. Here's more.
Well, today is a great day here at South Germantown Recreational Park. We are celebrating the grand opening of 2 solar field projects that we've recently installed on parkland, one here at South Germantown Recreational Park and another at Rock Creek Regional Park. This project, along with the other project at Rock Creek Regional Park, there's about a little over 7,000 solar panels that have been installed. These panels are generating clean energy, and we're using them to power a number of our facilities across park sites in the county.
There's just really so many people to thank because it's a collaborative effort, as you can imagine. We have people from planning, the park planning and stewardship, park development division, facilities management, from purchasing, from legal, on down the line. There are just so many people involved in a project like this.
The Parks Department is all about being green. Our mission is twofold. It's the provision of all these great recreational amenities that people get to enjoy and recreate and play active sports on. And then there's the conservation side of our mission, which is the preservation of natural resources, and that's really what this project is about.
Every year, review how we can get better at recycling, reducing our waste, changing the light bulbs, for example, moving to LED light bulbs from incandescent bulbs has saved us a lot of money and a lot of energy, reduced our greenhouse gas emissions. And this just represents one piece of a much bigger picture of our effort to try to not only be more environmentally sustainable, but also to save money and do more with less.
But I just want to say that I'm happy, truly happy, to be outside in the middle of May celebrating the dedication of what I think is the largest park-sited solar systems in the National Capital Region and probably in the state of Maryland. And, you know, the solar revolution in this country is being led at the state and local level. And with that in mind, I'd like to congratulate Montgomery Parks and MNC PPC, and certainly the Maryland Energy Administration over the last dozen years that I've been involved in solar, with taking leadership at the state, local, and the state and local levels in going solar. So today we're here, we're standing in front of a substantial solar array that was recently completed by Standard Solar. And this system and its sister system in Rock Creek Regional Park are economic, environmental, and educational opportunities for Montgomery County. Now it's an economic opportunity because the cost of solar electricity from this array is less than what the county is typically paying for grid supplied power. And if historical escalation rates for grid power hold, this gap is going to widen in the 25 or more years that this system is going to be here. From an environmental standpoint, these two systems allow Montgomery County Parks to contribute to the fight against climate change. Now, it was mentioned that the two systems are going to generate about 3.5 million kilowatt hours annually, and this is a tremendous amount.
100% of the power generated from this project will be used to virtually power 35 other recreational parks in Montgomery County. And did you know that these two solar fields will offset more than 2,877 metric tons of greenhouse gases annually, which is the equivalent to the amount of electricity to power nearly 400 average Maryland homes in a typical year. This project has basically eliminated 239 barrels of oil and 569,000 pounds of carbon each year.
Actually, the Parks Department didn't have to pay anything to install these projects. They were constructed under a power purchase agreement with Standard Solar. They're going to operate and maintain them for a period of 20 years, and we purchase back that green power.
All of the county agencies have done a great job with meshing solar into our community. As you can see behind us, our friends at the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, the Parks Group have put together a great project, and so in MCPS, Montgomery County Public Schools, has done a number of projects on the tops of roofs, and the county government itself is up to 17 projects across libraries, rec centers, our correctional facility. We've got an upcoming project at our public safety headquarters, which is almost ready to turn on, and we actually all really feel passionately that this sort of meshes with the identity of our community. Solar energy brings clean, quiet, no impact energy supply to our community. We help save money for our county agencies to help reduce impacts to taxpayers while benefiting the environment. And it really brings us all together, and we've all taken a huge effort to try and mesh this in as an educational tool too.
Just really excited to be a part of the clean energy movement in the county and in the region, and we're looking forward to doing more projects like this.
For more information on Montgomery Parks' sustainability program, go to this website. Well, that's it for this show. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time when we learn how to plant a tree and discover a new park.